Profile M with, of course, Watofo and Mr. Just Right. One starting at the top with this annoyingly short drip. I have never been a fan of these low profile drip tips because number one, they're a pain in the arse to take out. Number two, they're too damn short. Hold on, let's get in here with the finger and thumb. Oops, almost dropped it. So yeah, full 810 if you want to drop this and put your own 810 drip tip in. As you can see, O-ring is round the side. Those scratches, by the way, there's one there. The rest is just floof because there's bits of cotton all over the table, but the scratches are my fault. There's a couple at the top. Drop the tank because I'm a ham-fisted idiot. Pop that drip tip back in. Filling this is simple. Oh, it's just a simple case of sliding this over. Then you've got the fill port valve in there. Once the tank is filled, give that a push and everything's back in place. Top style airflow with this, so that the airflow is fully adjustable. Airflow slot there, airflow slot on the opposite side. There's the main part of the tank here, as you can see, and then down here at the base you've got Don't Vapor It In and Profile M from Watofo. Basically, just take this off. Main tank section. Oops, you probably it's gave it away now because I dropped it. Right, look how thick that is. However, it's plastic. Really, Watofo, you couldn't spare an extra 50 cents and make the tank glass. I mean, look how thick the damn thing is. And the spare tank, where's the box for this? The spare tank, which is the one here, is also plastic. Look, so you're looking at basically two plastic tanks going here. I don't know, honestly, I mean, for a tank like this, that is basically designed to be a cloud chucker. There's going to be a lot of sales of this tank. Let's face it, folks, there's going to be a lot of sales of this tank. They couldn't. Really? Plastic? Seriously? What? Why? Why did you go with a plastic tank anyway? It's a thing. Here's the inner chamber of said tank that went with a honeycomb style angled airflow slot. And you can see good finish on the inside mirror. Well, not mirror, but the inside finish of the actual chamber itself. But you can see they have went for a honeycomb style angled airflow to hit the top of the mesh. Let's pop the cheapskate plastic tank back on and have a look at the deck. It's the same old profile deck that we all recognise. It's still got the ceramic spring-loaded cradle in here to put tension in the cotton up against your mesh loop. So the basic design of the deck hasn't changed. It's what's surrounding the deck, the chamber and the airflow style that counts with this one. Let's pop this on the Red Stag DNA 200 build tab. And we're not going to pop in your everyday normal mesh. We're going to pop this in. Oh, I just dropped it. We're going to pop this in, which was included in the packaging. What you're looking at is individual strands of Clapton wire. Here we go. Yes. Ah, great. Hold on. Here we go. Individual strands of Clapton wire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 on each side for a total of 12. And it's laid out like that. Now, as you can see, Watofo have already dry burned this in because of the colour it is with the rainbow pattern going on. So what we're going to do, we're going to use this and see what the thing's actually like. So let's get our Watofo pole thing here. Pop that on like that. Make sure it's centred and then push it down. Give it a twist to make sure the ends have form the shape as well, and you'll end up with something that looks like that. And then we basically get our Clapton mesh, one side in there, one side in there, hold it steady in the middle, and then we clamp down the clamps. One. How's that looking? That's looking good. And there is another. Looking good to me. Now, I know they've already dry burned this, but I'm going to be dry burning it again anyway to get rid of any fingerprint oils. Look at that. Perfect. Wicking this. It's the same old trick. There is huge juice intakes here. Huge juice intakes here. Partial dam method. We're going to be getting some Cotton Gods cotton. Quite a lot of Cotton Gods cotton actually.
Quite a lot.
because
cotton,
of
cotton.
this, because this is a
Cotton.
mesh-based deck. We don't need a lot of cotton here for this though. So a good big chunk of cotton cotton, we're gonna tease it out slightly to make it a little bit more fluffy. Get
Little
one
bit.
end of it, pinch and twist,
Twist.
and then we're gonna feed this through.
Through.
Just like that.
Twitter.
Run that back and forth. And then we are going to bow tie this on either side. So we're going to be looking at around about a centimetre of cotton on
Centimetre.
either side of the mesh. Just like that. Then we get our tweezers in. That's a little bit uneven. Pull that over. There we go. Tweezers in. Get rid of some of the looser strands. Dig right in. And really rake that out. Same with the opposite side. Dig right in. And oh, fuck up the coil. Hang on. Push that over. Dig that in. And really even this out. There we go. In there. Trim it. Trim it. Line up with something that looks like that. And now it's just a simple case of pushing the cotton in. Don't go straight down because you'll compress the cotton and you'll get dead spots in there. You want to push the cotton in towards the coil. And what that's doing is that's teasing the ends of the cotton to find their own way down into the juice intake. Just like that. Same with the opposite side. Push the cotton in towards the coil and let the cotton find its own way down into the juice intake. Now, notice I have left the ends of the cotton, cut the ends of the cotton a little bit too long, because even after the juice well intake is filled with cotton, you're still seeing tufts here. There's a reason I did this. What you now want to do is you want to get these extra tufts of cotton that are flaring about at the top, and you want to push them in towards the actual mesh coil as well. And what you're doing, you're putting more cotton pressure inside the half loop, which means you're also getting rid of any dead spots in there.
Is there a kitty over there?
Little tufts in here. You want to push them in towards it. Once you start feeling a lot of resistance to you doing this, that's when you stop. But what you're basically making sure is you're making sure there is enough pressure of cotton in there to keep the dead spots away, because the last thing you want is a section of this that doesn't have any cotton touching it, because trust me, you will get a dry hit from hell if that happens. Once again, push this cotton in, make sure there's no empty spots there on the well. I think we can basically call it quits there. There we go, folks. The Wotofo Profile M deck all whipped up, coiled up, meshed up and ready to go. Let's head back up to the main card and have a read. If you're liking the content on this channel, not just the reviews but the news stuff and of course the live shows and of course the WhatsApp Sunday update vlog and all the eSync 101 videos, and you want to consider supporting Vaping with Vic financially, if you head to vapingwithvic.co.uk/support, you will find multiple ways either via Patreon, the YouTube membership subscription system, or other ways to actually support Vaping with Vic financially. This is a full-time job for me, folks, and what I'm sitting in right now is a studio that I'm renting out in an office building in the town that I'm living in. For more information on where your money's actually going to go, because you'll want to know where your money's going to go, let's be honest, folks, if you do decide to join Patreon, for instance. Again, head on to vapingwithvic.co.uk/support and have a look at the video at the top. Back on to the review. So, back up top with the Wotofo Profile M RTA, got this running at 75 watts, the mesh Clapton loop thing is coming out at basically 0.2 ohms on the G-Class. Airflow control is fully open, got Crimson Seed in here, which is a 70, well it's 80 now because there's nick in it, so it's an 80 dg liquid, and we're off. Oh, oh. And this is just going to keep wicking and wicking and wicking until you can see it. The bubbles popping up, that's the wicking kicking in. This will just keep wicking and wicking and wicking until the tank basically runs dry. That was the up close and personal of the Watopo Profile M. What do I think of this? The eyes and the nose. The plastic tank. Why didn't they make it a glass tank? I don't know. Why didn't they make it a glass tank? Because here's the thing, acrylic-based plastic tanks like this, they don't react all that well to certain e-liquids currently out on the market. Is it a case of Watopo doing a bit of penny pinching? Is it a case of them wanting to make a little bit more cash out of the proceeds of the tank? So they decided ditch the glass, go for the plastic. It's going to be an annoyance for some people out there that they didn't go with a glass tank for this particular bit of kit. But it's a thing. You're gonna have to make do with the plastic tank. Also, no bubble glass. In fact, no glass at all. Coming to think of it, this tank has very, very low capacity. Very low capacity. So if you get this thing licked up correctly and it's letting that juice flow in and keep flowing in, and you're running this with the Clapton mesh loop at round about 70 to 90 watts, you're going to empty the tank in less than 5 minutes. In fact, much less than 5 minutes, to be honest. You're going to empty the tank in about 3 minutes if you chain hit on it. It's a very short, very small tank with only a straight glass option on it. Even what looks like the bubble glass smoked plastic doesn't bulge out all that much. You're not really increasing the capacity of the tank. So the capacity of the tank is also going to be something to look out for, because you're going to be filling the damn thing up constantly if you're chain hitting on this. So that's the two negative points I can come up with. Plastic for the tank, and the fact the tank is so damn short you're going to be filling the thing up every 3 minutes. The good points, again, like the Profile drippers that have came before it, and the Profile tank that came before it for that matter, it's a very easy deck to work on. The Profile decks have been super easy to work on since the get-go, when the original Profile RVA was released with the team up between Watopo and Mr. Just Right One. Just get your mesh loop, or get your mesh strip, wrap it round the Watopo pole, pop it in, screw the clamps down, shove your wick in, jobs are good. And again, you're going to have to make sure though you get your wicking spot on. Once you've juiced up the cotton and all the cotton is saturated, give it 3 or 4 test fires first to make sure there's no hot spots forming on the actual mesh. Just wick it the way I did it, right? Wick it the way I did it. Partial dam method, the flute of cotton left at the top, instead of cutting it off, shove it inside the coil. That makes sure that there's much more pressure inside the actual half loop of cotton, or inside the actual half loop of mesh, because of all the cotton that you've just crammed inside extra. It works all the time. It's the way I've been wicking these things since the Watopo Profile 1.5 RVA came out. I come up with that trick of pushing the excess coil back into the mesh loop again. But the flavour from this, which is probably one of the reasons why the tank is so small, for that extra small chamber to compress the chamber down. The flavour from this is absolutely phenomenal. For a mesh-based tank, it has got to be one of the best or better mesh-based tanks out there on the market, simply because of the flavour. Simply because of the flavour. Reminds me a lot of the Seafreed that is currently sitting over there right now. Reminds me a lot of the flavour that comes from the Seafreed half loop mesh tank. This is very similar flavour. very sharp in the fruits, very deep when it comes to the creams and the custard. But the biggest letdown is the fact I'm having to fill the damn thing up constantly. Hold on a minute, here's a classic example, give me a minute. Hold on. Now, there's the bubbles. Here's the bubbles. When I started this review, the liquid, it wasn't filled up to the top, the liquid was just under that rubber O-ring. Look where the liquid is now. The tank's almost empty. The tank's almost empty, so it's something you're going to have to look out for if you are used to chain hitting on tanks. You're going to have a bottle of your favourite juice sitting right next to you at all times if you're going to start chain hitting in this. Because it's a mesh-based tank, it drinks e-liquid extremely fast. But in the long run, it's worth it because you're getting damn good flavour. Really, really good flavour from this. Really good flavour. And that's a mix of the thing to do with the chamber being a lot more compressed down, and it's also to do with the way that Wotofo and Mr. Just Right 1 went with a directed angled honeycomb airflow to slam into the top of that mesh. Look, it's worked. The flavour's good. Absolutely zero complaints with the flavour, folks. Anyway. Oh, Crimson Seed. That was the Wotofo and Mr. Just Right 1 Profile MRTA. Big thanks to the folks at Wotofo for sending it over for a review. If you thought this review certainly didn't do it below. So it's good, give it a thumbs up. Very fast at the top, you've got the latest video.